Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather, and surprise, we've got another private stock event. And every item that you're about to see in the video today will be available on our website, ashlandleather.com, this Friday, September 9th. At 12 p.m. Central Time. That's noon Central Time. Let's start off first here with an incredible wallet. I think this might be one of my favorites from the batch we're going to look at. This is our tall, fat Herbies. So the exterior bill slot on the tall Herbies go all the way to the top, and it gives us an opportunity to show you a huge context of leather. So the outside of this wallet is marbled blue shell Cordovan, I believe, with a Western texture on it, and you get to see this incredible range of color. There's a little bit of a vibrant blue to a little bit of a green, a little bit of an orangey tan, down to a darker brown, and all those colors in between. And here's a look at the inside, where we have some additional hidden card slots, and these are made in raw amaretto shell Cordovan for these card slots. So you can see as I rub my finger underneath, it's completely open underneath all this, with the addition of our normal two card holders on the top. So Western marbled blue shell Cordovan on top of raw natural, and then we have a little piece of blue shell in the center. Another wallet to look at, this is the fat Herbie this time with that exterior thumb notch. This is a special piece of Horsehide Latigo when we cut the horse mane into the back center of the exterior of this wallet. A really cool look on this stone Latigo, which is a nice brown sort of gray color. Just look at the inside where we have some more of this epic grain character. And I'm going to stick with fat Herbies here for a minute because I love this one. This is reverse color 8 shell Cordovan on the exterior with some incredible dye marks, as well as this Horween shell Cordovan ink stamp. This one has a hand stained edge, this color 8 stain that I think looks really great with the reverse on the exterior. And here's a look at the interior, where we have some really epic dye splatters. This is almost like a full coverage of color 8 shell Cordovan, but this is all reverse shell Cordovan on the left and the right, and then you can see the shell side in the center because we had the reverse on the exterior. And the football season is about to start this weekend, so we made a couple football items. Check out this fat Herbie here, all football leather, and we made a contrasting white stitch for this fat Herbie, and I have a few other football items. This is our lighter and lighter sheath. This is a Bic lighter, also made in that football leather with a white stitch, and then we wax and burnish the edge. And we also made a one-shot card case, a key fob here, which turned out really great. This one has our antique copper ring. And here's something we don't normally offer. This is our bottle opener with a football grip on it, which I think is perfect for game day. We also have a vault key holder made in the football leather, which when I was taking photos of this, it almost looks like a little football shape itself. And the last item, we made just a couple coasters in football leather. This is a little bit different because it's a 2-layer coaster, because that football leather itself that we bought was a little bit too thin for an online coaster. So we have 2 layers of the football leather on the front and back. So this will sit on your table like this. You can put your drink up on top. Let's keep moving along to some more wallets. A really cool Capone money clip here with some epic dye splatter on reverse black shell Cordovan for these exterior card holders. There's black shell Cordovan in the center, and then also in the interior, we have more of this epic dye splatter on the left and right. We have a black spring bar money clip for this Capone. And then we've got our most popular style here. This is the Johnny the Fox in 100% green shell Cordovan. And this one is tough to make with the shell Cordovan on the inside. This particular one has a contrasting cream stitch on the inside and outside, and some really, really nice looking green shell Cordovan. And in addition to that, we also have a green shell Cordovan, 100% green shell Cordovan, Johnny the Fox with a matching green thread. Also turned out really great, but there is something about that contrasting cream stitch. That color seems to go well with just about everything. But we made it in 2 variations for you to pick from. I just love to be able to see 100% shell Cordovan. On the inside of the Johnny the Fox, there's just so many layers of leather. If we use the normal thickness of shell Cordovan, this wallet just gets way, 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 way too bulky. So we have to be patient and pick naturally thin pieces of shell for the inside of this wallet design. One more Johnny the Fox to look at that's also extra special. This is 100% violet shell Cordovan, which is a really nice true purple shade. Check out the shell on this one. Really bright, shiny luster. It's got a very much mirror-like shine to it. Here's a look at the interior, and you can see on the violet shell Cordovan, it's a really dynamic color. So some angles, it's much darker and almost more like a color 8. And at the light range, a lot more of these vibrant purple shades come about. Take a look at the inside of this one, where we've included a shell Cordovan hot stamp on the left And in addition to that, we have hand-stained violet edges to match. Here's another wallet where we require thin pieces for the interior. This is our vertical card slot Bugs Moran with a remarkable piece of amaretto shell Cordovan on the exterior. We also have a contrasting stitch on this one where it's a little bit more of like a baby blue contrasting stitch alongside this orangey tan of the amaretto shell. I think this one turned out great. And here's a look at the inside. Vertical card slots. It seems like a lot of our customers are preferring this card orientation for the Bugs Moran design, which is perfectly handheld. I think it's just the perfect shape and size to hold in your hand, but it also fits really well in a front pocket, which was the original intent for this design. These have 2 card slots on the left with a hidden card slot underneath, and then 2 card slots on the right also with a hidden card slot here. We have reverse amaretto on top of amaretto shell, and in addition, we have the Horween measuring machine stamp cut into the inside left pocket. Let's keep going with some more vertical card slot Bugs Moran. This is another one in the stone Horsehide Latigo. The stone Latigo is a really great light brown, almost like a grayish brown color, which is really nice. It also is polished up very well. Take a look at how much sheen has come here just from me brushing this for a significant amount of time. I really like the luster that's appeared on this Horsehide Latigo. Another vertical Bugs Moran to look at was some brown nut Dublin, and this one has really great grain character. Check out the figuring on the grain of this leather. I like all these little bits of wrinkles that sort of make it unique, and each piece of brown nut Dublin is a little bit different. We've followed the same concept here with that contrasting cream stitch alongside the border of this one, as well as on the inside. We've continued that same stitch color on the inside, also with brown nut Dublin. Here's a great piece. This is Tumbled natural shell Cordovan, and I really love the look and feel and the depth of color on all the tumbled shells, but there's something special about the Tumbled natural. Where as I spin this, you'll notice the color changes very dramatically. It's almost like a caramel color at some angles, and a little bit more taupe at others. But that tumble pattern makes this one incredibly unique. Let's take a look at the interior here. And this is what we've done a little bit different. We have a reverse interior for this vertical card slot Bugs Moran with a Horween shell Cordovan stamp cut perfectly into the center. Another vertical Bugs Moran here. This one is hand stitched this time, and it's also in cigar shell Cordovan, which is a tough to get color. It's a really nice, beautiful brown shade, more of a true brown when you compare it to something like Color 8. Color 8 has a little bit more burgundy to it, where the cigar shell Cordovan is just more of a straight up brown. Take a look at the inside here. More of the hand stitching on the inside. Very chunky, bold thread look on the hand stitching. Let's look at some more Johnny the Foxes. This is another piece in the stone Horsehide Latigo, and I think this leather is perfect for the Johnny the Fox. It's 100% horsehide, so we have the same leather on the interior, and those horsehides that we choose tend to be naturally thinner than all the other bovine leather that we use for our Johnny the Fox wallets. So layering all these together, I think it's just a perfect thickness in horsehide, and then you get that really intense grain character of that stone Latigo. And speaking of grain character, here's an epic natural shell Cordovan Johnny the Fox. We have this epic figuring on the shell here on the outside. You can see there's little bits of striations of texture, but it's not a feel texture. It might look textured, but these do not have any sort of peaks and valleys to it. Just a really cool look on this natural shell. And here's the difference. We have reverse shell Cordovan on the interior, and I like the way that the reverse shell Cordovan wears in on the interior of wallets. I find it to be a little bit more easily polished in and filled in. When this will scratch against itself, you can remove and reduce those scratches more easily on the reverse side of the shell. And I have a couple more 100% shell Cordovan Johnny the Foxes. This is also a great one to see because it's our most popular shell color. We've got 100% natural shell Cordovan this time on the Johnny the Fox. And let me spin this around because I was noticing this color can be really vivid and sort of vibrant of a natural. A little bit more of like an amaretto kind of orange vibe at some angles, and then other angles it's more of like a blonde shade. So we have 2 of these 100% shell Cordovan Johnny the Foxes that will be available at noon this Friday. And I have another Capone money clip to show you. This is all reverse cigar shell Cordovan. So we have reverse cigar on the interior with reverse cigar exterior card holders on top of cigar shell Cordovan in the center. And I have one Tony the Ant in the batch today. This is an all reverse Color 8 shell Cordovan Tony the Ant with epic dye splatter as well. You get to see these drip marks of the Color 8 stain on the exterior as well as on the interior. We have more of these dye marks of the reverse side of the Color 8 shell, and you can see the Color 8, the classic Color 8 shell side in the center of this wallet. We also have 3 passport holders going up. This is natural shell Cordovan for our passport holder. The reason this one isn't our normal passport holder stock is because we have this measuring machine stamp on the inside, which sometimes people get a little confused if we sell them a wallet that doesn't look exactly like the website photos. I know a lot of you checking out the private stock videos really want a measuring machine stamp on a wallet, so we made this passport holder just for you. Here's another really nice piece of shell on our passport holder. We've got garnet shell Cordovan on the outside. Really, really glossy, bright and shiny piece of shell Cordovan here, and the garnet shell Cordovan is the most red color that Horween makes. Sometimes I feel like this color has like a little bit of orange to it also. Just a really nice piece of shell here too, with that very smooth finish, a very bright mirror-like shine to it. Here's a look at the interior, and this is a fan favorite color that doesn't get often produced. This is a light pale green color of shell Cordovan that Horween is calling Kia, K-E-A shell Cordovan. It's a nice pale green shade to match with this vibrant red of the garnet shell on the exterior. And we have one more passport holder to look at. This is an epic piece of color 8 shell. And when I say epic, I mean that's just a really nice piece of shell Cordovan. We don't have that epic grain character and texture or figuring like on some of the other pieces. It's just really, really nice and thick and a dense piece of shell for this one. Here's a look at the interior. This is what's also a little bit different and why it's private stock. On the reverse side of the large exterior piece, you can see it's got these really dramatic drip marks, which I thought looked neat. It's like this little window of color in the center that shows off the Horween ink stamp. We also have a contrasting cream stitch on this passport holder. Let's pull in some Fat Herbies. Check this one out here. This is a piece of Dublin on top of natural Latigo, but this is a color of Dublin that we don't normally offer. This is russet brown Dublin. It's a little bit more brown and a little bit more red when you compare it to the color 8 Dublin, and I think it pairs very, very nicely with the natural Latigo. So we've got the russet brown on top of natural Latigo, as well as russet brown on top of natural Latigo on the interior with a contrasting cream stitch. Now here's another one of my favorites. Check this out. Tumbled marble shell Cordovan, and it's a really great look on this particular Fat Herbie. Really dramatic texture and color with those two adjectives, tumbled and marbled. That's exactly what's been done to this piece of shell to give you this nice look. Here's a look at the interior too, where we've continued with the same pieces of leather. This is one of the coolest looking Fat Herbies I've seen in a long time. Here's another great Fat Herbie, all reverse color 8 shell Cordovan with epic drip marks. Check that out. Really cool look with those random drip marks on the exterior. It's almost like a Jackson Pollock vibe here. And here's the look at the interior where we have more of that epic dye splatter. I've been saying it a lot. Here's another one of my favorites. I really like the manes of the horse. This texture that I cut into the center of the Fat Herbie here is not something that we're able to do very frequently because there's not much horse mane on the hide itself. So when we're able to make a Fat Herbie like this, it's extra special. This is actually a pit tanned chrome excel piece on a horsehide. So pit tan natural M's horsehide for this Fat Herbie. And if you're not familiar with the pit tan chrome excel, it's more dense and full and more grainy than the normal chrome excel leather. And then again, this one, we've cut in this horse mane into the center of all the pieces. So on the bill slot here, all the way through the top, that's the horse mane, as well as on the interior here, we have the horse mane continuing through the interior. It's a great Herbie here. Another really cool Fat Herbie. And I like using the Fat Herbie for pieces that have a lot of things going on with them. All the marbled stuff, all the tumbled stuff, I think looks better in a larger context. So here we have tumbled marbled blue shell Cordovan. It's a little bit more of a blue color on this particular piece. And this is a great looking Fat Herbie. It starts off a little bit more dull on all the tumbled shells, but as you wear it, it becomes more bright and shiny. This one, in addition, we have some tumbled natural shell Cordovan hidden card slots underneath this tumbled marbled blue shell. It's a really cool one. And here's another Fat Herbie in a great piece of Dublin. Brown nut Dublin this time with a contrasting cream stitch. And we also have brown nut Dublin on the interior with a Horween measuring machine stamp in the center. And yet another Dublin piece. This is the color 8 Dublin that we're referencing earlier. You can see the color 8 Dublin as I run my finger underneath. A lot more of these burgundy sort of burnt cherry colors come out through the undertones of the leather. It's much darker on the surface. I was actually noticing on this particular wallet that was really hard to capture the color because it was appearing kind of black at some angles in this lighting, but it's very much a vibrant burgundy shade, much like the dark color 8 shell Cordovan color. That's exactly what this is. We're trying to match that same shell color onto the Dublin leather. This one also has a Horween measuring machine stamp cut into the center. And here's a wallet that I tried to make a thing a while ago. I really like the natural Latigo leather, and it didn't seem like people were really into it back then. I wanted to see if you guys were into this one again. It starts off a really nice light shade, and this is a combination tan leather with a vegetable retan, so it does develop an incredible patina, although a little bit more slowly than something that's a full veg. I really like the natural Latigo for how glassy and shiny it becomes just with normal use. And here's another natural piece, but this time it is a natural shell Cordovan Fat Herbie. Check this out. Natural shell Cordovan on the exterior. That's a great piece of shell. And on the interior, we flipped it around. We have reverse card holders for the interior. And the last wallet of the day. Check this out. Another tall Herbie. Maybe we should do more of these because you get this extra large context to look at of leather for the exterior. And it's just a completely flush, clean look on the exterior as well as on the interior. On these Horsehide stone Latigo, you get a really dramatic texture. And especially on this one, more texture in the center because, again, this is that horse mane that we cut into the centerpiece here, which I think makes it a truly unique piece. There's only so many little parts of the hide that you can actually cut that have this mane texture in it. And I think it looks really great cut right into the center of a wallet. So tall Herbie here with more stone Horsehide Latigo on the interior. And I really like the choice on this wallet to make it Horsehide on the exterior as well as on the interior because these Horsehides are naturally thinner. And I actually find that Fat Herbies are a little bit more pleasant in my mind when the leather's more thin. I just find it to be more easy to use and I actually like a little bit of a thinner wallet. I know a lot of people like thicker leather. There's a perception that thicker leather means that it's better. That's not always the case. And with this particular Herbie here, it's one of my favorites that we've ever done. So if this one doesn't sell, I'm definitely going to wear this one. If you have any questions about the private stock stuff, including maybe some of the football items, which this is the actual football leather that gets sent off for teams to play with on the field, definitely let me know. You can leave a comment with any questions and maybe let me know which one of these was your favorite. I'm gonna go back to this guy with this incredible piece of Western marbled blue shell. It's a really awesome piece of shell Cordovan. I don't know if we'll ever see one like this again. So thanks for checking it out. Everything will be available this Friday at 12 p.m. noon Central Time. And until then, I hope you have a good one.